and welcome back to another episode of the Carolina Wedding Partners podcast. I'm Christine, owner and operator of Beauty Bar Bridal Artists.
And I'm Jessica, owner and artist at Tidelines Luxury Mobile Tanning. Today we're going to talk a little bit about my friend Christine's favorite resources that can be found in our free bridal resource library on the website, carolinaweddingpartners.com.
Yep, if you go over to our brides tab, brides couples tabs, and you scroll down, you will see a whole list of free resources to download. And I'm going to talk in perfect order of my favorites, counting down from 3 to 1.
Oh, I love it. So we're going to get to the very end, and that's going to be your
my favorite. Yes.
And it goes without mentioning, we love all the resources because we made them up. But each one of them is perfect for the bride that needs them, right? Whatever season of planning that you're in, or if you feel stuck on a certain issue, a lot of these resources are really tailored to helping you get all the ideas in your head out on paper, because we are self-proclaimed pen and paper girlies, so that you just feel a little more confident in the decisions that you're making during your planning season.
Sometimes I think you just need to write something down to make it make sense, you know? And so these resources are just a tangible piece of paper you can print out and you can just hold and keep in your back pocket as you're planning. So I'm going to start with number 3.
Okay. Before we jump in.
Oh, okay.
If this is your first episode with us,
yes.
Christine is our finance department. She loves a spreadsheet. She loves a calculator, a number, and I don't. They scare me. I don't do math in public, and numbers aren't real because I'm just a girl.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of your resources are going to be tailored more to brides that need help in that area, but also kind of tackling it in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming and scary.
Yeah.
Like even I could go through and use these resources if I needed to.
I mean, everybody gets a little about money, and most of this, I'd say the first 2 resources that we're going to talk about have to do with money. But it can be a little scary and a little overwhelming, but these just kind of put everything in perspective, and you can be like, oh, okay, all right, now I'm writing this down, it's okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with my third most favorite, and it's the 6 cost-saving resources. So if you go to our website and you download this resource, I'm not gonna spoil everything for you. I'm just gonna
we're gonna leave some of the allure.
And they're free, so you don't have to spend any money. So we're not gonna make your budget worse than what it already is.
And grab them now because that could change in the future.
Yes. So this one kind of goes through the most common misconceptions about a budget.
Yeah.
And what, when you hear the word budget, you immediately think I am restricted, I can only stay within this box, and it doesn't have to be that way. Yes, a budget kind of holds you accountable, but that's all that it is. It's holding you accountable because you don't want to spend all of your money on something that isn't going to make you feel good at the end of the day, right? So everything that you put into your wedding the money that you put into it should ultimately feel good when now everything's said and done, right?
Yeah. And being strategic so that in the event that you're a bride with an 18 or more month engagement, or even we call it, the traditional standard 12-month engagement, that all of your money doesn't run out of your pocket
at once
at the beginning, and then at the end you feel uncomfortable. You're either having to ask people to help, or you're swiping that credit card, which we always want to avoid if we can. Just being able to allocate where things go, and then adjusting as you go, right?
Exactly, because things are going to pop up.
Absolutely.
So, and then this resource helps you. It helps you feel more in control.
Yeah.
It kind of sets the tone for where you want to place your money. So like we've talked about this in previous episodes, and we're going to talk about it in the next resource that I love.
We will talk about it again.
Yes, because it is a big deal. Yeah. But placing the money or the budgets where you feel like you will get the most out of, whether it's photography, whether it's food, whether it's your venue. So those types of things, you need to come up with prioritize those really important things and start there, and then you can kind of pull and trickle away from that. And it doesn't mean if you set the budget now, and then you realize in a few months, oh, you know what, I really do want to put more money into this. You still have things you probably haven't put a deposit down on yet.
Yeah.
You can shift No one's holding a gun to your head.
Yeah.
You're going to be
Hopefully.
okay. Yes, you're going to be okay.
This is bringing up kind of a random point that I was thinking about. You know, I'm sure that there's a couple out there somewhere that says this is our budget, but if we wait to book this stuff after our first wedding shower or after we go meet and show Grandma Gladys our ring, like maybe we'll get some more money or maybe you can say, you know, we won't pay as much you know, into our savings account, we'll just put it straight into the wedding. That to me feels a little bit slimy, like a little slippery slope there.
Yeah.
So just as a cautionary tale, I guess, for clients, I do that all the time, couples who are thinking, well, that money will just magically show up. I don't feel like that's a constructive way to start planning your wedding, right? You want to go ahead, even if the beginning budget number isn't your dream budget number, because it never is, right? And if you are a bride that has to be a little more money conscious, which we all should be, knowing that the number that we start out with is what we need, and anything that comes to supplement that is just extra, or we save it and use it on our honeymoon or through our married life and things like that, right?
Yeah, I think that's a really smart way to look at that. Don't assume that money's just going to pop up in the middle of nowhere. There needs to be somewhat of a plan, and it needs to have a purpose from the get-go.
And I think budgeting for your wedding is a great exercise that you can carry into married life, right? Because you're having to make these decisions with someone else.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what you have to do when you're married too, even if finances are separate. You're still coming together to make
these big decisions.
Yeah.
Financial decisions,
money can get ugly, right? And just yucky. And you don't want that to be a cloud that kind of follows you into that newlywed era. I feel like I'm being very doom and gloom right now, but money makes me scared.
It's just setting a good tone. It's getting everything out there
great practice
in the very beginning, and so that there's no surprises.
Yeah, I think so too.
So that leads us into the number 2, which is the CWP budget planner, and this really breaks everything down.
This is like your baby.
Yeah, it's taking everything that you could possibly think of that needs to be part of a wedding, and literally laying it out and putting that money where it belongs. Yeah. Right? So you're taking your money as a whole and you're going, and this, you could go through this budget planner multiple times. You could start off
That's a great
at
idea.
18 months. Okay, this is what we're going to do, you know? And then you can redo it again in a couple months.
Well, and asking yourself what facets of the wedding are most important to me and my spouse.
Right. And this is kind of, this is probably where, like you had talked about your husband, he wanted to be really involved,
yeah, he
right?
was the planning guy,
And my husband was like, do your thing, tell me when I need to show up, and I will be there. Cool. So this will start some really good conversations about how involved the people that are going to be involved need to be.
And it's also something good that, you run it through with your spouse, but also if there's a family member or your parents who are a large contributor to the budget, sitting down with them and saying, this is kind of what we're thinking, and nothing's really set in stone. It's a workable plan. But if you have any input, and you want that input, that's the little asterisk. To be able to say, like, let's sit down and look at this together, because having all of that in front of you at one time is comforting in a way, like to be able to see everything
see the big picture in the very beginning, and then work through all the little details, and then watching it come together.
Fill
at
it
the
out with
very
a
end.
pencil.
Yeah,
something erasable.
Well, and again, going back to the first resource that I talked about, but just holding yourself accountable, like so that the money isn't just flying away and has no purpose. It has a place, and it is going to contribute to the ultimate end goal.
You can always come back to it.
That's right.
That's nice.
It just really creates some realistic expectations, and you're able to align with your priorities.
Where's one facet of wedding planning, I guess, just from clients, because you're with them really like through the entire process, if they're a client of yours and a bride, is there a certain part of like a wedding modality per se that brides stress more about that you found?
Like in terms of like coming up with the money for a certain thing,
or just we have this money and I really want to go all out on my florals, but like, should I? Or a bride saying like, I'm thinking bridal beauty, because again, it's June Bridal Beauty Month at CWP. If I'm a bride and, I'm expecting my bridesmaids to pay their own hair and makeup, but then it gets closer to time and it's like, oh shoot, like they're expecting me to pay for it. You know what I mean? How could you go back into the budget planner and be like, okay, well, we've got this amount that can move, or I've just got to stand my ground and say, hey, that's not happening?
Yeah, I mean, there's always, so there's your core vendors that need to be booked, right? And that money needs to go to them probably soon, right? They typically have a deposit to hold the dates. I do as a hairstylist, I require a deposit, and it's just held everybody accountable. But like, there's going to be some last minute things, like for example, the food while you're getting ready.
Yeah,
you know, it didn't have to be this giant spread of food. It could literally be a chicken nugget tray.
I was going to say, but if you're buying a dozen sausage biscuits for Bojangles, like that is a cost.
It is.
Right?
So you can, towards the end, like take, you know, let's scale back a little bit on some things. Like, we know we're going to get a great dinner at the end of the night. Let's maybe scale back on breakfast or things like that. Things where you can change last minute.
After the wedding, right? If I want my bouquet preserved, if I want portraiture made from my wedding photos, if I want my dress preserved or made into like heirloom pieces, those are things that might not necessarily have to be done like the day after your wedding, right? But things to keep in mind that's
another cost.
That comes out of that budget ultimately too, even if it's not all at one time.
True.
Right?
True. Or you could have one of those fun, which I don't know, do they still do that, where you walk into the reception and you just throw cash in a jar?
I don't know. I didn't have it at my wedding, but I sure wish I did.
I wish I had thought about that too. That would have helped on the honeymoon. And that's another cost to
depending on if
going
it's
on
up
a
to the couple
honeymoon
or not. Yeah.
I know a lot of people now that I talk to, they're not going on a honeymoon right away. They're waiting.
We didn't.
You didn't go on a honeymoon?
We went on a honeymoon, but I was married in April and we waited until October to go.
Yeah. Well, we went on one right away, and we had no money. I don't know how we got.
Where did you go?
We just went to Florida.
We did too. Wait, where'd you go?
St. Pete Beach.
Oh, cool. We did Key West.
Okay. Yeah. But it, it was fine. Like, and looking back, I'm like, how did we ever get there? Like, I really feel like I was scrounging for pennies in the couch right before the wedding. I'm like, oh God. But I really wish I had thought of that jar. Like, everybody that walks in the reception, you're getting $1. You're getting money. Anyway.
Well, this might be a bit of a teaser because we're going to talk about it next episode.
Yeah.
But we have resources that kind of softly outline who's responsible for what.
Yeah.
Money-wise in a wedding. And again, it's not one size fits all. Everybody's wedding is different.
Yeah, it's not as like we were talking, it's the etiquette, right?
Yeah.
So who is responsible for what? But I feel like now, like, it's not as strict.
Yeah.
Like, I think I remember when I got married, obviously the parents of the lady, they are responsible for the majority of the wedding.
Yeah.
And then, like, at one point somebody's like, no, the in-laws are responsible for the flowers. I'm like, they are? Okay. And
if they want to be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know. These different things kind of circle around, and I think that whoever wants to contribute, have that as an open conversation at the beginning, and then,
But you brought up in previous episodes that we've filmed, depending on the age of the couple, I feel like dictates some of that too. Like, if you're a younger couple, I feel like, and again, this is speculation, I guess. I'm not, but the younger the couple, I feel like the more traditional
it is.
The money role plays because they are so young and so
they're just right out of college. They haven't, maybe they are just now getting a job, like their career job.
Right.
They probably don't have a ton of money saved up, and they probably have maybe some school debt to pay off or things like that. So they do need the help from
the couple. It's like, okay, well, you guys are studying your job. You've got a career.
You're responsible for paying for the majority. Of your wedding. Yeah.
It's very interesting.
It is. All right, I want to go into my favorite.
Tell me, girl.
Resource, and it's the 7 dates to avoid in Eastern North Carolina. I don't know if you've noticed, but Eastern North Carolina, actually all of North Carolina, has a lot of festivals.
Yeah, we love a good party.
And events and things, and it does, which is incredible because it brings so much attention and money to our towns, but it also brings in a lot of people and like booking up on accommodations and
any
things like
sort
that.
of reservation is
Prices
off the
raised,
table,
right? One of the biggest events that happens in Eastern North Carolina is Big Rock, and we're right in the midst of it. It's at the top of my brain right now, and
it's the greatest week of the whole year.
It really is. It's so fun. It brings so many people. It brings people in from all over.
Yeah,
and it's great. However,
It
brings in a lot of people from all over.
Yeah.
And so all the great
Airbnbs, hotels, all of the nice restaurants. Some venues are even hosting galas and fashion shows and parties, and because this is a great week of the year to it's for charity, right? So they're trying to really amplify the event so that people donate and things like that. So it's a huge event to keep in mind, especially here on the Crystal Coast.
Right. Not only does it take some of those vendors and they're doing things as part of this week-long event, but we're local, right?
Yeah.
And we want to be a part of this event.
We're fishing in the tournament.
We would but but some of them are. Some of them are. They're taking part in it and many of the activities, and so they're not going to be available. So keeping in mind, now with that being said, there are weddings. I've had weddings on either end of the week, but I'm sure that the accommodations prices were rising.
You have to plan out way further than you think you would.
So if this is a week that you want to be in Eastern North Carolina getting married, just keep in mind that this is a big deal.
Same thing goes with the Seafood Festival.
Yes.
The local hospital here hosts a gala.
Yep.
In
New Bern, they have Mum Fest.
Oh, that's a huge one.
Swansboro has Mullet Fest. There's the Emerald Isle.
St. Patrick's
Day. I mean, there's so many festivals.
Here's the problem. We have a party every month.
Yeah. we don't know how to stay in our homes.
We beach bums.
We want to be out having a good time.
Yeah.
And so in this resource, it lists all the major festivals that do create an abundance of people in the area.
And it gets your brain in a gear where you can really think about, okay, well, if my whole family are huge golf fanatics, I don't need to have my wedding during the Masters. Or if we're big football fans, like the same week as the Super Bowl is probably not the time for you to plan your wedding.
That's very true. You want them to have their full attention. You want them to be able to celebrate you.
Yeah, and you don't want everybody watching the game under the table
right
during your ceremony, right? Which we've seen happen at
times. It happens at every wedding.
But also, on the flip side of this, you could use the events to your advantage. Like if you love the Kentucky Derby, having it kind of around that event, or having a shower around that event could be really fun.
Yes.
Cinco de Mayo, we're big fans of Cinco de Mayo. Now we're just naming off holidays.
Yeah, we just
don't have your wedding on Christmas weekend. Don't do that to your family.
But yeah, that the main point of that is that there are quite a few really large festivals, and I would avoid them as a bride.
Sure, me too.
And I would just want to come and enjoy the festivals.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, if you really want to see Eastern North Carolina and its glory, come to these festivals because they're fantastic.
And it's a great resource for out-of-town brides who might not know kind of what's happening, especially in the busier spring/summer months here on the coast.
Yeah.
And we say the coast, but really it's our region.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Carteret, Craven, Jones, Onslow, and Pamlico counties. If you live in any of those areas and have an event that we should add to the list, drop it below.
Let us know.
Because there's always something going on.
But
really again, it really impacts budget.
It does.
Which is number one.
It brings us back to the other two resources that I love, because it does. The prices of certain things do increase during those times.
And vendors included, right? Because some vendors are stretched really thin during these weeks. You figure if you need a tent, rentals,
that's a big one.
Florists, maybe not so much like our industries because we can make it work. But there are some that
any kind of equipment,
accommodations, like you mentioned, it's going to be hard, especially if you're hosting a large event, kind of in this area, right?
Exactly. So those 3 resources that are my favorite, and I'm going to name them again, so you guys can go back on our website in our resource library, are the 6 cost-saving secrets, the CWP budget planner, and the 7 dates to avoid in Eastern North Carolina planning your wedding. Again, all these are absolutely free.
Yeah.
And if there's a resource that you absolutely love, let us know in the comments. And if there's something that you want to know more about that you would love in our library, let us know, because we want to create it and make it accessible to all the brides and couples that are planning their wedding.
Yeah, because these 3 resources are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to resources, and we're adding them all the time.
Yep, we add them monthly, and so there's just a great way to feel. I'm losing my thoughts. A great way, and take it.
Take it away. A lot of our resources, we have teamed up with some of our vendors as well. So there's a lot of industry secrets, industry kind of the behind the scenes that goes into these resources as well, so that you guys ultimately benefit from kind of being ahead of schedule.
Oh, I agree. All right, friends, that is the end of our episode this time. If you liked it, you're going to like, share, subscribe, and follow on all of our platforms, which is Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and TikTok.
And to learn more about our resources that we've mentioned in this episode, to meet the vendors that we host in our community, or to learn more about upcoming events, you'll head over to carolinaweddingpartners.com. And until next time, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Big event that comes to mind, because we're right in the middle of it, is Big Rock.
Yes.
Big Rock is humongous.
It's the greatest week of the whole year.
In Eastern North Carolina. It's such an incredible event. It brings so many people from all over the world. Michael Jackson. Please edit that out.
Michael Jackson.
We're editing that out. No, it's going to be a blooper.
Okay.
Erase.
Just start over and say it brings people from all over the world.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jordan. And he's not even fishing it this year.
But somebody told me he was in town.
He's not in town this year, but he's been in the past.
He's
not fishing it this year.
A person at the gym. You can't trust anyone. You can't trust any resources. Okay. All right. Where am I starting from?
Just say it brings in people from all over the world.
Man, I was doing so freaking good. Okay.
I'm just glad this blooper's not me, it's you.
Jackson. Okay.
Just start by saying.
Is there anybody cool that I don't know about that is fishing? Like big name?
I'm sure there are, but.
Okay, you didn't hear anything in the grapevine?
No.
Okay. All right. I don't know what I'm doing. Help.
You just start and say, it brings in people from all over the world. Michael Jordan's fished it before. Jordan.
No, I'm going to say Jackson again. Okay.
Michael Jackson has been rumored to have. My God. It's always
I feel like such a dumbass. Okay.